All right, I'm going to call to order this meeting, Monroe County Board of Commissioners. It is Wednesday, January 26th. I will note for the record that all three commissioners are present, and we will begin with our public statement read by Commissioner Jones, please.
Yes, we, the Monroe County Board of Commissioners, renew our commitment to welcome and protect the rights of all people, regardless of age, race, color, creed, disability, sexual orientation, gender identity, marital status, economic status, and national origin. And we affirm the right of every person to live peacefully and without fear, and we will fight and resist at every step discrimination and harmful policies, whatever their source. We also stand in support of our county public school systems, both RBB and MCCSC.
All right, thank you so much. And next we have department updates, and we have Ms. Coleman here, the administrator from our health department. Good morning.
Good morning. We have a lot going on this week, and so I really want to focus on vaccinations and testing. Oh, thank you for that's one of the things I want to talk about. But I'm going to talk about two before I get to that one, but that can stay up. This Saturday, January 29th, we have our school booster clinic. It is scheduled, it was originally scheduled from 9 to 2. It is now scheduled from 9 to 12. There are still appointments available for that. It is located at Bloomington High School South Cafeteria. Pfizer vaccine for students and staff ages 12 and older. For the booster, you have to be 5 months out after your second dose. There will be some first and second doses available for anyone who needs that, that's a student or staff person. We would like to think nobody needs that first or second dose, but if they do, that would be available. And this is open to all schools, even those who are children who are homeschooled. So that is this Saturday. We have that planned. We had a little glitch earlier. So if you went in and you couldn't find it, and you wanted that appointment, go back and it is there now and you can make that appointment. Then this Friday and Saturday, Indiana University is hosting a Mederna vaccine clinic at IU Simon Scott Assembly Hall, and that is on Friday from 12 to 6, Saturday 9 to 1. It is for anyone 18 and older in the community. It is a focus on boosters. So if you've been waiting to get your Mederna booster, then this is the clinic for you, right? It's easy. Assembly Hall is always very streamlined as well. And then starting today through Saturday, the Indiana Department of Health mobile unit will be back in town. They will be at Sherwood Oaks Christian Church. And so a big thank you to the church and their staff who have been working with our staff to get things set up for this mobile unit to come in. They will have Pfizer and Mederna vaccine available for ages 5 and up, and their hours are noon to 8 p.m. This will be an indoor clinic. However, lines may extend outside and it is cold. So make sure that if you are going, whether it's for your vaccine or testing, that you dress for the weather because you may be outside for a while you are in line. To that, with all of these sites, appointments and full registration makes everything go much quicker than when you have to stop and get somebody fully registered before they move on. So if you can use ourshot.in.gov, all 3 of those clinics that I mentioned are on that site. So you can pick yours, not only schedule your appointment, but complete the registration, and then things will move very, very quickly. And in case of this one, you should not be outside that long if everybody's fully registered. But that's very important. If you don't have access you can call 211 and they can help you get scheduled, and they can register you as well. The mobile clinic that is there today through Saturday will also have PCR testing available. So if you need testing, that site also has that. And then, of course, we have the Gravity site that remains open at Curry Pike, and they are open Tuesday through Saturday, 8 to 4. Both clinics have PCR testing available. The Gravity site does not require appointments. It is a drive-through. And if you visit coronavirus.in.gov, you can schedule an appointment for this mobile clinic, or you can get details about any of the testing sites locally or in the state. The federal government did launch the free at-home rapid antigen tests. So if you have not ordered yours yet, you may do so by visiting covidtests.gov. 4 tests per household. They come in one box, a kit of 4 tests. It can take 7 to 10 days to receive those in the mail. So again, order them now, and then you have them if and when you need them. Because if you need them today, ordering them today is not really going to help you. And some people may be asking what the benefit of home tests are, and it is really that quick results mean faster isolation if you were positive, quicker ability for you to notify your close contacts that they may need to quarantine based on their situation. So remember, if you are up to date on your vaccines, then you don't have to quarantine. You would put on your mask and monitor for symptoms. But if you were unvaccinated or not up to date on your vaccines, then you would want to quarantine for 5 days, monitor for symptoms, put on your mask when you're around others, and get tested if you can after day 5. So a key about that too, I've said this before, but I'm going to do another reminder on the difference between isolation and quarantine. When you are infected, you isolate. So you can think about it, the 2 I's. If you're infected, you isolate. Isolate quickly, and that way you prevent further transmission. Remember that you can be infectious a couple days before, and this is especially true with Omicron, which is really what we're seeing, that you are most infectious a couple days before you might even develop symptoms if you get them. So isolating as soon as you know that you are positive or as soon as you develop symptoms is crucial to not having further transmission. And then when you know that you're positive, you can look back over those last few days, determine who your close contacts are, and notify them that they need to then go into quarantine or assess the need to go into quarantine. And quarantine means that you have been exposed. We don't know if you're going to get infected or not. You might be incubating and you may develop symptoms later on. So quarantine is for those people who are kind of in that holding pattern to see if they become infected. And to that end, I would just say vaccine and boosters are still our first line of defense. So for anyone who is eligible, staying up to date on your vaccine, all vaccines, not just COVID, but when we're talking about COVID-19, staying up to date on that is crucial. And then continuing our other strategies, masking, distancing, cleaning, washing your hands, quarantine and isolation as is appropriate, certainly testing. All of those are tools that we have that can, again, help us to reduce the amount of transmission we have in our community. This week, we will remain in a red advisory, as is the state of Indiana. Our cases per 100,000 did decrease just slightly, and our positivity rate rose just slightly. So we're a little bit in a plateau. And so I see that as a good thing, right? That we're not continuing to rise, but we have a long way to go. So don't get too excited yet, but maybe it's a glimmer of hope for us. And lastly, I just want to share, and you can visit COVID Data Tracker for details about this, but the couple recently published articles in the MMWR, which is morbidity and mortality report, weekly report that the CDC does, and JAMA has reported several studies about risks for people who are vaccinated and not vaccinated. And I just want to share one point with you, and then you can go to COVID data tracker for more details. In November, unvaccinated adults aged 18 and older had a 13 times risk of testing positive for COVID and a 68 times risk of dying from COVID compared to fully vaccinated adults with booster doses. So, this was kind of at the beginning of the Omicron surge too, and kind of that transition. So there are some other studies that provide some other information, but it definitely is evidence that staying up to date on your vaccine for this is crucial. We know breakthrough infections, we know reinfections occur, and we know that hospitalizations and death occur in people who have been vaccinated or boosted, but they are a small fraction of the people who are hospitalized or who die. Get your vaccine.
Amazing. The statistics are amazing. Thank you for that, Ms. Cottle. Comments, questions, Commissioner Githens?
Only that people can switch vaccines, right? So somebody who had Pfizer or who had Johnson & Johnson can go get the Mederna at Assembly Hall, correct?
They can. Most people are kind of sticking with what they had originally, which is perfectly fine and probably the choice for most people. But don't worry, if you are eligible for your booster and you're eligible for Mederna, you can get that even if you had Pfizer originally. And the same, if you had Mederna for your first two and you can't get to the Mederna clinic, but you can get to Pfizer, you can do that.
Commissioner Githens? Commissioner Jones?
Yeah, I just hope that people will pay a lot of attention to those last statistics you gave us. And if anyone is still unvaccinated at this point, hopefully they'll do something about it. It may well prevent their death.
Yeah. And again, just a reminder to mask up, and it's still our policy in Monroe County, because we want you to protect yourself, but also your loved ones and the community at large. That's why we have that mandate in place, and please follow it. I know it's been a long haul, but we're still in it, and we still have to keep fighting. Yeah, excellent. Thank you so much, Ms. Cottle. Appreciate you. Are there any other department heads who wish to offer an update today? Okay, seeing none, we will move on to our public comment section of our agenda. Public comment is reserved for items that are not on our agenda. Each commenter has a limit of 3 minutes to speak, and that's also true with our agenda items. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, you will hear a tone. There it is. And when you hear that tone, that means you have 30 seconds remaining to complete your comment. And again, public comment for items not on our agenda. I don't see any phone in, so I will ask anyone who is on the Zoom call who wishes to make public comment to use the raise hand button at the bottom of the screen, and we will call on you. We'll ask you for your name and to let us know whether or not you are a Monroe County resident. I don't see anyone raising their hand, so we will move on to the next item, please.
Move approval of the minutes from January 19th, 2022.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. Any comments, edits, corrections?
There was one correction that I didn't catch when I went through it earlier. Need to change the officers on the sign-in sheet.
catch? Okay. And I'm going to abstain from this vote because I was not present and I have not watched the entire meeting, so I cannot vote on this. But go ahead, Mr. Cockrell, if you would go ahead and please call the roll on approval of minutes for January 19th, 2022.
Commissioner Thomas,
Abstain.
Commissioner Githens,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion is approved 2-0.
Thank you so much. Next item, please.
Move approval of the claims docket, accounts payable January 26th, 2022, and payroll January 28th, 2022.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second, and we have Mr. Miller here to tell us all about it. Good morning.
Morning. The total for claims was $3,762,913.38. $1,459,374.61 was for Monroe County Treasurer for quarterly full-time self-insurance. $1,271,875 was for JP Morgan Chase Bank. Of that amount, $1,224,432.67 was for the aviation ban or bond anticipation notes principal purchase of Grub 55 acres. $21,875,000 of that initial amount was for the final interest payment. And finally, $25,567.33 was for the airport's portion of the principal payment on that 55 acres. Moving along, $420,850 was for Infrastructure Systems, Inc. Lori Lane trenchless structure installation project took place from 10/14/21 through 1/16/22. $169,656.32 was for wheel and surtax distribution for November of 2021. And finally, for AP claims, $154,555.03 was for E&B paving, which was paving on the north segment of the Karst Greenway from Woodyard to Ellettsville, which is the final billing. Those wrap up the larger items found in our AP claims docket. And as far as payroll is concerned, the total was $2,241,325.68. 66.8% or $1,497,838.10 were for the direct costs of the 4 payrolls that were processed, and the remaining 33.2% or $743,487.58 were for the indirect costs associated with taxes and retirement.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Mr. Miller. Comments, questions, Commissioner Githens?
No, I get tired listening to them reel things off so fast.
Sorry.
Pretty good. No, you're very good at it. Very, very good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Commissioner Jones?
No, I don't.
Okay, I don't either. Let's see if there's any public comment on this item. Raise your hand on the Zoom screen and let us know that you have a comment. Seeing none, we'll come back to the board for a vote. Mr. Cockrell, will you please call the roll on approval of the claims docket, accounts payable January 26, 2022, and payroll January 28th, 2022?
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Githens,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion is approved 3-0.
Thank you so much. All right, next item, please.
Move approval of Bledsoe Riggert Cooper James on-call agreement for Parks and Recreation Fund name County General and Parks non-reverting Fund number 1,000 and 1179 in an amount not to exceed $5,000.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second, and we have Ms. Whitmer here to tell us all about it. Good morning.
Good morning. This is, as we said, not to exceed $5,000. It's on call for small projects. This way the park board can move quickly on the small problems at the parks instead of waiting a month to take care of them.
Excellent. Thank you so much. We've done this with other departments and other entities as well. It makes a great deal of sense. Comments, questions, Commissioner Githens?
No, I know that the parks have worked with this organization for many years and I have a really good relationship with them.
Commissioner Jones?
No, I don't.
All right, let's see if there's any public comment on this item. Raise your hand on the Zoom screen if you wish to make a comment on this item. Seeing none, we'll come back to the board for a vote. Mr. Cockrell, will you please call the roll on the Bletzer, Rigger, Cooper, James on-call agreement for Parks and Recreation?
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Githens,
Yes,
Commissioner Jones.
Yes,
Motion is approved, 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
move approval of E&B paving agreement for construction-related services for the southern section of Karst Farm Greenway. Fund name, Next Level Trails, fund number 9107, in an amount not to exceed $957,600.
second.
We have a motion and we have a second, and we have Ms. Rice joining us. Good morning.
Good morning. You're going to get Kelly and I on this one for sure. Then you've got me for the next two after this. So this is a continuation of a trail project. You'll remember that the Monroe County got about $2.3 million a few years ago to develop a trail that will connect Ellettsville to Karst Farm Greenway. We completed the northern portion of that. This is a contract for the southern portion, which will go from Loesch Road, Kelly, correct me if I get this wrong, from Loesch to Woodyard. We have to do a railroad crossing. It's going to be a little bit more shorter, but more complicated. We did ask for bids, and E&B had the lowest bid, so you've already awarded it to them, and then this is the contract that they have reviewed, and it follows the same form of the last contract we used. And we'd like you to approve it today so that we can get started on this in the spring. This is not a rush for you to approve it today, so if you have questions, let us know. We expect to give them a notice to proceed. The contract says we'll give them a written notice to proceed. We expect to do that no later than April 1st. It may be that the weather is such that we can issue them a notice to proceed earlier. However, we want to make sure that we don't issue that too early because the contract requires them to complete the project within 120 days. Kelly, do you have anything you want to add to that?
No, it's perfect. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Comments, questions, Commissioner Githens?
No, I'm excited that this is going to be coming to completion. Great work.
Commissioner Jones?
Yeah, I'm also very excited to see this happening. Our trail network keeps on getting better and better.
Yeah, it's interesting to drive down Woodyard and you see the new construction and how beautifully it's been done. And then you see the kind of the path that's, you know, the gravel path that's there after that. And that, you know, that's a really interesting point to see that difference between those two. It's very exciting. Very happy that we're continuing to move forward. That's great news. So thank you for that. Let's see if there's any public comment on this item. Raise your hand on the Zoom screen, please. Okay, seeing none, we'll come back to the board. Mr. Cockrell, if you would please call the roll on the E&B paving agreement for construction-related service for the southern section of Karst Farm Greenway.
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Githens,
Yes,
Commissioner Jones.
Yes,
Motion is approved, 3-0.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you again, Ms. Whitmer. Next item, please.
move to approve resolution 2022-03, update a grant to the Monroe County Humane Association. Fund name Sophia Travis Community Services Grant. Fund number 1000-300231-0061 in an amount of $4,120.
second.
We have a motion and we have a second. Ms. Rice, if you would please.
This grant has already been awarded to the Humane Association as part of the Sophia Travis grant program for 2021. They asked for the money to be able to get a vehicle, but they were having trouble getting the kind of vehicle they want as there are some supply issues with vehicles. I think we've run into that ourselves in Monroe County. So what they'd like to do is have the money be used to make some security upgrades at their Susan Bartlett Emergency Center. The council approved this change last night, but as you'll recall, there are written agreements with each of the recipients of the grants. So we are asking you to approve that change, and then we'll be able to direct the funds accordingly.
Great. Thank you so much. Comments, questions, Commissioner Giffens?
No, I listened to this last night at the council meeting, so thank you.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes, I believe this is a situation, or the Humane Society will actually look after people's pets if they find themselves in kind of an emergency situation where, like, if they go to the hospital or something and they can't take care of their pets. I think it would be good if this were better known. I've dealt with this situation with family members a couple of times, and it's really a very beneficial thing to have in this community.
Yeah, I agree. When I was doing this work, and I actually knew Susan Bartlett. I ironically had bought a car from her. She was a neighbor of my in-laws. She's a great woman. When she died, she left money to the Humane Association to get this center built. And having known Susan and having worked with, our animal control issues at the county, I was learning as I was writing this grant agreement. So I agree with you, Lee. This could be better promoted and known throughout our community because it's a wonderful service, and people often, they worry more about their pets than they do about themselves when they've got one of these situations. So yeah, we'll work on trying to get that word out.
Yeah, great organization. Yeah, great points. Thank you both. Excellent. So let's see if there's any public comment on this item. Just raise your hand on the Zoom screen. Okay, seeing none, we'll come back for a vote. Mr. Cockrell, if you would please call the roll on resolution 2022-03.
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Giffens,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion is approved, 3-0.
Excellent. Thank you. Next item, please.
Move approval of the Health Department Enforcement Agreement with Security Pro 24/7 LLC. Fund name Health, Fund number 1159, in an amount not to exceed $25,000.
We have a motion. We get a second?
Second. I'm sorry. Second.
That's okay. We have a motion and we have a second, and we have both Ms. Rice and Ms. Caudle here to tell us all about it. I don't know who wants to go first.
Penny, I'll let you lead if you want, or I'll give you the boring legal stuff and then let Penny get to the good details. This is an extension of a contract we've had with Security Pro. We made the term throughout 2022 because there's some uncertainty, obviously, around COVID. We don't know how long our mask regulation is going to be in place, and we don't want to have to be changing this constantly. So we had it open till 2022, made it not to exceed 25,000, and if we need to reappropriate dollars and extend it, we can. So Penny.
Yeah, as you mentioned earlier, we still have a regulation requiring masks in indoor public spaces, and all through last year and beyond, right? I can't remember now exactly when we brought them on board. It's been time has worked for me. But it has been very beneficial to us to have their help and to be eyes out in the public and to be able to visit businesses, check in on them, provide education, make sure that they have signs if they're not posted, that they understand that businesses are required to have a sign posted, right, at all of their entrances. And so, we need eyes and ears, and they are a huge help to us. So we can do the initial contact follow-up. They do random checks for us. They do assigned follow-up checks on complaints for us. And our contract, what had expired, and we the board wants to continue utilizing that assistance. I think one difference is it had come out of the commissioners, had been paying for that, and this would have the health department paying for it at this time.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that explanation. Comments, questions, Commissioner Giffens?
I have a couple of things I wanted to say. First of all, I attend like the downtown Bloomington meetings, and businesses are grateful for having this service. They feel like it protects their employees and keeps them open. So I think this is a very, very good service that we're able to provide for the entire community. But second, and this is not really related to this actual agreement, but I wanted to thank Margie Rice for her years of service. Margie's leaving us. I'm very sad. I think the fact that we've just heard her associated with 3 different things here. It talks about the breadth of her work, the trails that she's worked on tirelessly for years. She has been part of the vision for those trails, I have to say. The Sophia Travis grants, her work with the council, her work with the health department, it's just been invaluable, Margie. So thank you and best of luck.
Yeah, if I might say, I agree completely. And when you talk about that, you know, she's got council, she's got parks, she's got health. Any one of us could work her to death. So, and she never complains. So we will miss her desperately. We love all of our county attorneys. We will miss her desperately. She has been, and the board expressed the same sentiment at their board meeting.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thanks. I really have mixed feelings about leaving. I only have 2 more days, and I am clinging to every minute that I get with this county. And I will tell you, though, I've already been asked to be on the Parks Foundation board. So I said, let me get used to my new job and my new schedule, and I'm happy to, because there are so many great projects in Monroe County that not only trails, but you know, you guys see everything as the executives, as the leaders of the county, and do a great job moving us in the right direction. And I'm gonna miss working with you guys every single day. But good news is I'm gonna be around Bloomington, so we won't be strangers. But thank you guys so much for letting me be, I'm gonna cry, so I'm gonna stop, but letting me be a part of Monroe County government. I told Dave Schilling when I wrote my letter that every time I got to come back to the county, it felt like a gift. And I really mean that, so thank you.
Commissioner Jones, as we're crying here.
Yes, obviously a very emotional moment. Margie has just been wonderful for the county. It's going to be a very strange place without her. And I don't think anyone can possibly replace her energy and enthusiasm. And you're going to really be missed, Margie. This is very difficult.
Yeah, and I will say that you, and thank you both for this, my colleagues for this, because I will say that I'm going to miss your sense of humor, your forthrightness. You are just a breath of fresh air, and we, you know, you are a gift to us. You think Monroe County is a gift to come back to. You've been a gift to us, and we so appreciate you and your hard work and your dedication. You have, I don't think folks realize how many extra additional hours county legal, including Margie, have spent in helping us through this COVID crisis. And it's not been a short-term crisis, as you all know. Just giving your energy and your time and being dedicated to Monroe County residents, whether it be trails and parks, anything that you're working on, but especially in the last term, few years, it's been the health department that I think has been, you know, just relying on county legal in so many ways, and especially Margie. So a huge thank you from all of our residents to you for that service as well. So
Thank you.
You.
And I appreciate you characterizing my It is energy and forthrightness and not sassiness. But I think Jeff Cockrell's going to step up his sassiness here in 2022, so watch out.
We're going to hold him to it.
Thank you.
But you bring a certain fierceness to things, Margie. That's incredible.
All right, excellent. Thank you all so much. Oh, goodness. Let's see if we have any public comment on this item. Just raise your hand on the Zoom screen. All right, seeing none. Mr. Cockrell, will you please call the roll on the Health Department enforcement agreement with Security Pro 24/7?
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Githens,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion is approved 3-0.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. Next item, please.
Yes, move to approve authorization for Commissioner's Administrator to execute the primary plat submission property owner affidavit.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and Mr. Cockrell is going to tell us about this in a sassy way.
You know, I used to have a cat named Sassy, so I'm not unfamiliar with the word. I just don't know if it's ever been applied to me before. But this is part of the, I guess, redevelopment of what is now the former hospital site. As we all know, the city of Bloomington purchased the hospital site and is in the process of redeveloping it. They're looking at the block that includes the Centerstone building, which the county owns. And so what they're trying to do, and there's a photo in the packet, I got a highlighted photo from the planning department. If you guys want me to share my screen and put that up, I can. It may be more helpful.
Please.
Let me see if I can. All right, so let's go. Okay, can you see that?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Can you make it larger?
I can certainly try. Better?
There you go. Thank you.
And so what this depicts are the yellow boxes are lots and ownership, and the green highlighted box is the county buildings. The kind of L shape around that building would be owned by Centerstone. And you could see going north and south and east and west, the two roadways, which are essentially parking lots right now. I know that the parking lot that has historically been used by Centerstone is the one that would be on the roadway going east and west. Our communications with the city is they're going to add some parking behind or immediately east of our current building. There's going to be some discussions with Centerstone because that lot would cut between both lot lines. And so, but this is allowing the city to apply to have the city plan commission and go through the planning process to get these two streets authorized so that this project can move forward. It doesn't take away any of our building or any of that. And really it's just repurposing. How it affects that building is the parking loss. And there are discussions going on about corrections of that.
Great. Thank you so much. Comments, questions, Commissioner Githens? You are muted.
Yeah. Are we writing anything into this that would, that any kind of property would revert to us if Centerstone sells sort of their property?
That is a conversation between us and Centerstone that has not happened yet. This is purely allowing the city to start their planning process for the two roads.
Thank you.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes, I find the concept of a pedestrian street to be quite interesting. I'll be curious to see how that plays out.
And my understanding is that it would have vehicle traffic, but it would also have a lot of amenities and a lot of things for a pedestrian use as well. I don't think that's going to be solely pedestrian.
Okay, great, thank you. Let's see if, appreciate your presentation, Mr. Cockrell. Let's see if there's any public comments on this item. Please raise your hand on the Zoom screen if you wish to make a public comment on this item, limited to 3 minutes. All right, seeing none, we will come back for a vote. If you would please call the roll on the authorization for the Commissioner's Administrator to execute the primary plat affidavit.
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Githens,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion is approved, 3-0.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Next item, please.
Move to approve letter of agreement with Green Business Solid Waste Management, fund name County General, fund number 1000-30006-0161, in an amount of $4,800.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Ms. Purdy, tell us all about it.
Yeah, good morning. This is just some housekeeping for you guys. We always have an agreement with the solid waste management's green business section. This is for recycling of papers within our departments. And this cost has remained the same for as long as I can actually remember. So one of the few things in this world that has stayed consistent.
All right, thank you so much. Comments, questions, Commissioner Githens?
Oh, I'm glad that we're encouraging county employees to recycle.
Commissioner Jones?
Very much.
Yeah. Commissioner Jones?
Yeah, I'm just pleased that the Solid Waste District is offering this service to the county and other green businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, any other businesses who are interested in connecting with the Green Business Network, please contact the Monroe County Solid Waste Management District. Yeah, good point. All right, let's see if there's any public comments on this item. Just raise your hand in the Zoom screen. All right, seeing none, Mr. Cockrell, will you please call the roll on the letter of agreement with the Green Business Network with Solid Waste Management District?
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Githens,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion is approved, 3-0.
Excellent. Thank you so much. All right. Next up are appointments. Commissioner Githens, we have a
Yes,
few.
I wish to nominate Commissioner Lee Jones to the Drainage Board and Susan Hinkle to the Monroe County Women's Commission.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and thank you to the resident, but also to Commissioner Jones for serving on boards and commissions. We appreciate it. Mr. Cockrell, will you please call the roll on the two appointments?
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Githens,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion is approved, 3-0.
Great. Thank you so much. Just a few notes for our announcements. We do hold office hours as commissioners 6 different times during the month, during the day, in the evening, different days of the week. Just go to the calendar, the events calendar at co.monroe.in.us and look for those links. We're there for an hour each time. You're going to be put in a waiting room, and you will be brought on to speak with the commissioner when that commissioner is available. So if you have questions, if you have concerns, it's a great way to connect with us. And it's exciting that we can do that virtually and safely. Just a reminder also for residents that we The Township Assistance Fund is available for county residents. Every resident of the county, whether they live in the city, town, or neither, lives in a township. And if you need assistance because with basic necessities because of COVID, please contact your township trustee. You can find them by calling 211 or going to 211in.org. And we do have some additional board and commission appointments that are available, including the South Central Regional Sewer District, Animal Management, Redevelopment Commission, and Economic Development Commission. So if you have an interest in any of those or other board or commission appointments, please go to co.monroe.in.us and complete the paperwork, the form online, and submit it. My colleagues have anything else they wish to add?
One thing, remind people of the blood drives that we have going January 31st from 10 to 3 and February the 1st from 1 to 6. Both of those are out at Ivy Tech. And we're very lucky that Ivy Tech has partnered with Monroe County to run these blood drives. They've been very, very successful. The last blood drive, they had a goal of 120 units, and they actually, because of the generosity of our residents, were able to collect 122. They exceeded their goal.
Nice. So you go to redcross.org to make an appointment. Excellent. Thank you for that. Great. Anything else? Just a reminder to please go to the Indiana Health Department site to find information on all of the opportunities for testing and vaccination in Monroe County and in neighboring counties. It's really important that you get vaccinated, and we want to thank everyone who continues to follow the mask ordinance and mask up when they're in public to protect themselves and their family, but also everyone in the community. So we appreciate all those who are masking up and doing everything they can by getting vaccinated. So please get vaccinated, and we're going to be adjourned. What time do we want to start our work session? How about 11 a.m. for that? Is that enough time? Perfect. Our work session will begin at 11 a.m. Thank you, everyone. Be well.